It's Cheryl, Yoga in Small Spaces. Welcome to day 7 of the 28-day Somatic Journey. So, day 7, so we're at a week. That's pretty cool. With today's session, with the 2 somatic movement flows that I've chosen, I'm doing it in regards to, I find it's very beneficial for me, but also for you to see the benefits of learning how your spine moves. What's the mobility, the range of motion? What's the flexibility of the spine? Is there a disconnect from your body moving the way your brain is trying to tell it to move? And I find in a lot of my live classes, like in-person classes, when I do the somatic, one of the poses we're doing today or movements we're doing today, it's the Somatic Cat and Cow. I notice a lot of people have a hard time breaking things apart. So on day 1, I talked about a certain technique that we do called means whereby. So we'll be doing a lot of that within the cat and cow because we're breaking the movement slowly apart and noticing sensation. Remember that inner knowing, our soma, and recognizing maybe where there's a disconnect. Maybe it's kind of crunchy or static, like the staccato, bumpy movement. That's our sensory motor amnesia. Also, are we understanding how to break this apart? How can we allow our spine to move more fluid? So, as I said, one of our poses today, our movements, somatic movement flows, will be the somatic cat and cow. From there, then we're going to move over to the somatic seated twist. Where we did the lighthouse at the beginning, it's a little bit like that in regards to the twisting of the spine, but we're going to be breaking it up differently apart for the spine, okay? So let's get started here. I know for a lot of us with really tender knees, it can be a little bit discomforting to kneel on the floor. So if you're not on a cushioned mat, you're more than welcome to grab a pillow or a blanket and roll it to put the knees on. So I'm just going to demonstrate that. I don't think I need it today. But if you notice that going directly on hard ground is hard for the knees, one tidbit is to have a blanket underneath. And I'm going to be honest, sometimes this isn't enough because there's still going to be compression. So another tidbit, I don't know if this blanket's going to work, but I'm going to give you a visual here, is to bring the blanket or a pillow onto the shins. I'm going to untuck my toes. And now my knees are technically floating. They're just barely touching the mat. So there's no compression on the knees. It's actually quite a nice little tidbit. I learned this one years ago in some of my training with Melissa Christopherson a long time ago. So this is a cool one, all right? I'm not going to put anything underneath my knees. And I'm just going to have my body come into my cat and cow. I am going to have my wrists a little bit in front of my shoulders so there's not as much compression going on to my wrists. If you have ganglions or carpal tunnel and this is too much, you can either come up onto the fists or you can do this seated where you are on a chair and you can do this movement, not a problem, okay? A seated cat and cow. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a little pre-check here just to feel the fluidity of my spine moving into a cow. And what I notice, again, my lower right back, not a very happy camper. I'm not going to tilt my head back too much because my neck, again, I know what's going on with it. So I know not to torque my head back. And so you can see my movement here. And then I'm going to come back to center. And then I'm going to round tucking the pelvis under. So I'm going and bringing my chin in towards my chest. And this is where I'm at right now. And then I'm going to come back to neutral. Excuse me. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly break apart going into, and we're going to start with a cat because I find it's a little bit easier to move into cat breaking this apart than breaking it apart a cow. Doesn't really sound right, does it? But okay, so here we go. We're starting always at the coccyx, the tailbone. And I just want you to gently tuck the tailbone under. And then slowly come up the spine, spreading apart each vertebra. So I'm still neutral in my upper body. Coming up, slowly rounding. Now I'm in mid-back, pulling away at my thoracic rib cage, mid-back. Feeling my shoulder blades pull apart. And now I'm tucking my chin in towards the chest. Pause. And now I'm going to come back to a neutral spine. Okay? Let's do that 3 more times. Just the cat. All right? Tucking pelvis. Lower back. So lumbar right around the SI and QL. Coming up my mid-back, pulling, shoulder blades pulling apart, chin in towards the chest, pause, release all muscular effort. 1 more time. Tucking my tailbone, pelvis, slowly making its way up my spine. Almost like a roller coaster, coming up, up, getting to the top of the roller coaster before we go down the ride. Come back to neutral. Now I'm going to do the opposite direction, giving a tilt to the pelvis, not a tuck, and I'm giving an arch to the spine. Still starting at the base of my spine, the root, right down here. Here we go. I'm tilting, tailbone up towards the sky, trying to keep everything neutral. Starting the arch into lumbar, making my way up the spine. Shoulder blades come towards the chest. My arms are still strong, and I look gently forward. Pause. Come back to neutral. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Tilt of the coccyx, tailbone. Slowly making its way up. Shoulder blades towards the spine. Look gently forward or whatever the mobility is in your neck. And relax the contraction. Release those muscles. I'm really noticing this in my lower right side. It's not a surprise to me. I have 1 more, okay? Tilt. Going, like I said, instead of roller coaster, think of it as a train track also. Slowly going up the train track. Forward. Hello. My puppy's in front of me. I know you can't see her. And relax. Only 1 more set for this session, and I'm putting those 2 together. We're so used to having our cat and cows move back and forth, fully moving everything together. I love breaking it apart like this. So here we go. Knees in line with the hips. I feel like my knees slid back on me there for a moment. I'm going to give myself a few wrist circles here. And here we go. Neutral spine, looking down at the ground, starting at the coccyx's tailbone. I'm going to tuck, visualize each vertebra of my spine, slowly peeling, rounding away from each other, coming up to my mid-back thoracic. Shoulder blades are being pulled away from my spine, and then chin towards the chest. Now, moving into cow, we're going to start at the tailbone from this rounded position. Tilting my tailbone up, nice and slow. Train tracks, here I go. Up the lumbar, thoracic, shoulder blades. Look forward, pause, have 2 more rounds. Tailbone, always starting at the tailbone for this one. Tuck the root. Ooh, there's a brain fart. But I didn't want to cooperate for a moment. Here we go. Rounding, nice and slow. Pause. Tailbone tilt. Shoulder blades towards the spine. Look forward. 1 more round. Tuck. Making my way up the spine. Pause. Tilt. Pause. Come back to neutral. Sorry if you can hear that. There's a truck going by, very loud. All right. From here, let's do a little check here. All right. I'm going to go into my cow first, rounding everything at the same time. There's my movement there. I feel like I have a little bit more of a dip, an arching to my spine. And then I'm going to round it all in. And pause. Come back to neutral. I'm going to come to a seated position, cross-legged for the next movement. Ooh, itchy nose. Does that mean I'm going to win money? So, beautiful way, somatic cat and cow, having that connection of movement to the brain. A lot of people struggle with this, a lot. They want to clench everything, tighten muscles. I want you to break it apart if you practice this on your own and just feel that movement connection of the vertebra of the spine. Now we're going to move on to a somatic seated twist. You can have the legs crossed if you'd like. You can have the legs extended out. You can have support underneath the legs, or you can do this in a chair. Okay? So first, we're going to go into a pre-check. I'm going to start going to my right. So my right leg's out in front. I'm just going to gently twist, like how we did in the lighthouse on day 1. Twist, where body naturally stops. I'm extending my right arm behind me, putting a little dot. I'm pointing towards the corner of my pillow here. But it's right by the arm of the couch. That's where I can see it in my view. And come back to center. So starting position, so just going to allow everything to roll down, nice and loose and relaxed. Here we go. Rolling, feeling the stacking of my vertebrae, each vertebra. And then slowly twisting. Pause. Come back to center. Round, releasing all muscular effort. Pause. Round 2. This time I'm going to incorporate the movement of my right shoulder in the twist. You're going to slowly roll up, feeling those vertebrae stacking, 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 coming into a twist. I'm doing this with my eyes closed to have more of a sensory feel sensation. Bringing my right shoulder back a little bit more, feeling the shoulder blade come towards the spine. Pause. Slowly, gently release. Round it all in. Relax. Next one, rounding up, stacking the vertebra, one vertebra at a time. So vertebrae, sorry for plural. Twisting, right shoulder blade back to the spine. This time I'm adding left, pull back also. Pause. And then slowly release all muscular effort. Pause. Adding one more to this, a 4th round. You're going to make your way up slowly, feeling the spine elongating. Twist. Right shoulder back, left shoulder back, shoulders away, pulling the ears away from the shoulders. So a little bit more lengthening. And gently release. And then slowly roll up. We're going to go into our post check here. So here I go, gently twisting, pausing, extending right arm. And I'm halfway up my pillow now. Pretty cool. Come back to center. All right, we're going to do the other side and then we'll be done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, let's go into a pre-check. Gently twisting where the body naturally stops. Ooh, I did some work yesterday with my shoulders, like a workout, so I can feel it today. I'm pointing, I'm on the outside, or I guess the inside of my little Christmas tree here. And then come back to center. So here we go, starting without any muscular effort, rounding down. And again, I'm going to do this with my eyes closed just because I can feel, take away the visual. I can just notice each vertebra, how it's wanting to stack. Reaching through the crown of my head, twisting, pause, come back to center, releasing all muscular effort. Pause. Round 2. So we're going to engage the left shoulder this time. Going to come all the way up, slowly stacking. Stack, stack, stack. A few little bumps on the way here. Twisting. Bring that left shoulder back just a little bit more. And release. Pause. Gonna slowly roll up. Twist. Left shoulder blade back. Right shoulder back. So I'm pulling that right shoulder blade towards the spine. And gently release. Yeah, lots of SMA, sensory motor amnesia, in my lower right side. Woohoo! Last one. Slowly stacking. Oh, I'm going to just kind of play with that sensory motor amnesia, my lower right. I'm just going to kind of break apart the stacking of my lower back. And then slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Rotating, left shoulder back, right shoulder back, pulling my ears away from my shoulders, and then slowly releasing. And then coming back up. I'm going to do that little post check. Here we go. Naturally twisting, extending my left arm. Back here. Look at that. I was here and now I'm here. So cool. Let's do 3 breaths together. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. And breath out. Thank you so much for tuning in for today's day 7 of my 28-day somatic journey. Any questions or anything, shoot me a DM. And awesome, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel. You can like it, you can share it, it's free. And yeah, I will be back here tomorrow for day 8. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.